All right, join me in your science book on page 200. How heat is transferred. Okay, let's look at the picture real quick on your video. There's convection, the transfer of heat through a fluid, liquid, or gas caused by molecular motion. So convection is the this liquid moving. Okay, the molecules in the liquid moving. Conduction, the transfer of heat or electric current from one substance to another by direct contact. Okay, directly contacting the heat source. And radiation, energy that is radiated or transmitted in the form of rays or waves or particles. So the heat that you feel from the fire with your hands, that's the heat being radiated out. Okay, how heat is transferred. Follow along in your textbook. Heat transfer is measured by changes in temperature. Objects that are near each other will eventually have the same temperature. Heat travels from warmer objects to cooler objects until the objects are the same temperature. Conduction. Conduction is the movement of energy through direct contact. This means that two materials must be touching for heat to be conducted from one material to the other. Conduction is the only way heat can travel through solids. Okay, next page, page 201. All atoms in a solid vibrate in place and transfer their movement to one another. When a faster moving, warmer atom collides with a slower moving, cooler atom, it passes some of its kinetic energy to the slower moving atom. As a solid, such as the burner on an electric stove, heats up, its atoms vibrate more quickly, and its temperature rises. If you put a pot on the burner, these vibrating atoms will transfer some of their motion from the burner to the atoms on the bottom of the pot. The faster vibrating atoms on the bottom of the pot then transfer energy to those next to them. Energy is transferred from atom to atom until the entire pot is hot. Atoms in liquids and gases are not as close to each other as they are in solids. Their vibrations cause them to move around. Oops, sorry about that. All right, turn the page in your math textbook. We're now on page 202. What is convection? Well, that's right here in our chart. Follow along in your text now. When you heat a pot of soup, some of the heat is transferred or conducted through direct contact of the pot with the soup. However, most of the heat is transferred as the heated soup at the bottom rises and flows throughout the pot. The transfer of energy by the flow of a liquid or a gas is called convection. Convection can occur in liquids and gases, but not in solids. So again, only in liquid or gas for convection. Okay, continuing in your text. Convection occurs because most gases and liquids, both of which are known as fluids, become less dense when they are heated. In the atmosphere, warmer air rises because it has a lower density than cooler air. Cooler air is denser and sinks. Hotter, less dense fluid rises through colder, denser fluid because of the hotter fluid's greater buoyancy. Buoyancy is an upward force on an object or a substance that is in a liquid or a gas. Buoyancy and density are directly related. For example, oil is less dense and more buoyant than water, so oil floats on the water's surface. And we see this whenever there's an oil spill in the ocean, the oil stays on the top of the ocean water. Or if you've ever had one of those, like a salad dressing that has oil on it. If you just set the salad dressing and leave it, the parts start to separate out. Okay. Obviously not a ranch dressing or a creamy dressing, but an oil-based dressing. Okay, turning your page now to page 203, convection currents. As a hot fluid rises away from its source of heat, it may cool, become denser, sink back to the heat source, and be warmed again. The resulting circulation of hot and cold fluids is called a convection current. This current helps warm a pot of soup evenly, even though most of the heat is applied to the bottom of the pot that is touching the burner. So you can see in here, the bottom of the pot is touching the burner, but these water molecules are going to be circling kind of like this in a convection current, and that will get the entire pot of water to be about the same temperature. Convection currents can move through gases or liquids in the atmosphere. Warmer air carries heat energy upward. The warm air rises because of its lower density. Cooler air is denser and sinks. However, density is not the same as weight. An object can be denser than another, but weigh less. All right, thanks for watching and listening. Again, if you need to go back and rewind or re-listen to any part of this, you may. Make sure you check out the pictures, the diagrams, and the text as well. That may help you with your understanding, and you can continue in your Google Classroom with the questions in the Google Classroom. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.